vibras? Cause we know the vibras.
Welcome back to another episode of the You Know the Vibras podcast. This is your host, Michael Carrasco, aka Mr. Golden. And as always, I'm with my boy, Juan the Don.
The one and only, man. Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, the
bro.
one and only Juan the Don. So today we have a little bit of a different type of episode. But before we get into it, let's get started with the quote of the day. You got us today.
You good, man?
I'm straight, bro.
Oh, no,
I'm
bro.
straight.
I don't know. You talking like slow motion, bro.
Nah, man, I'm good. But yeah, let's get it started. Let's get it started with the quote of the day. What you got for us? And then we go from there.
The quote is anonymous. It's very straightforward and has a very strong message. It says, "Have patience. Good things take time. Trust the process."
Ooh.
So
I like that.
we talked about it beforehand. We didn't talk about the quote, but we talked about this phrase beforehand, which is trust the process.
Right.
And I felt that the quote had to make sense with the episode. And this episode is gonna be different. We're gonna take a deeper dive into the quote of the day. So let me repeat that. Have patience. Good things take time. Trust the process. So the reason I chose it, I just feel like I think many don't know that, you know, good things, you know, come to those that, you know, deserve it.
Right. Amen.
So, and it takes time, you know, like I feel like people expect to have great things 24/7, but you know, sometimes failure things come across, but it just has to take from within for you to see the good things and the bad things, like within the bad things. If that makes sense. But yeah, trust the process, man. That's a potent, you know, strong phrase. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. You know, like you said, sometimes failure might come, but that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's whatever you're trying to do, whether it is business or, you know, getting into a new hobby or anything, it's like a roller coaster. You're gonna have your good times, you're gonna have your bad times. You just gotta trust, you know, where it's gonna take you.
You know, something to bounce off of that. Apart from trusting the process, something important along with that is enjoying the process.
Right, 100%.
You have to enjoy it. But I feel like that always comes with you finding your purpose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or you finding that the process itself that you have to trust. You know what I mean?
Right.
And once you find it, have fun with it and enjoy it. That way it doesn't seem like so stale and you don't have a desire to trust it.
I agree. I agree 100% with that.
That's my point of view on it, man.
Yeah. So before we dive a little deeper, I want to give you, you know, kind of like a little backstory of where the phrase "trust the process" originated from. So it originated from, it's actually the slogan of the Philadelphia 76ers. That's the quote that they use. Basically, to them, what it means is things may look bad now, but they have a plan to make it better. So that's like going a little deeper into it. That's what the phrase means. You know, you can add your own meaning. At least for me, it's like trusting the journey that you're going through right now on there. Because the journey might take you different places. Like I said before, it may be some bad places, it could be good places, but you're just gonna have that throughout the whole journey.
Yeah. Something important about that is something to take note. I feel like everyone should know that not everyone's story will be the same. Not everyone's path will be the same.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So once you do find that reason for you to trust the process, I feel like you gotta embrace it.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And like stick to the script. It's something that's very important. Stick to the script that you create while you trust in the process and be loyal to it. You know, like I said, because maybe someone's journey to success was faster than yours.
Exactly.
But that's where you can't mix negativity in that trust in the process, because then you're gonna become doubtful, and you can't have doubt when you're trusting the process, because then it's gonna like take away from your desire
to actually trust
it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I feel like go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just feel like not being sure of yourself and not understanding your potential is not good, and it wouldn't be good for you and that journey.
Yeah. Yeah, and adding to that, Big Sean, everybody knows who Big Sean is. Pretty successful, artist. He said in one of his songs, I forgot which song was it, but he said it took me 10 years to become an overnight success. So that's what it's. When you really want it, you're gonna keep working at it. If you really want to keep working at it, because you never know. It's like every time we talk about when we're sitting down and talking about how can we grow the podcast and stuff like that, we always bring one thing every single time, is that we never know which is going to be the episode that blows up.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
And you see that. You see like a similarity with a lot of success stories. And it's simply that no one was expecting the success,
right?
And no one was expecting for something to happen overnight. It just happened.
It just happens.
And also, you see a lot of times, like with artists, maybe even comedians or movie actors or whatever. Their best art, or their best piece of art, or their best work was the one that they had all their faith in, wasn't the one that made them successful.
Exactly.
It was the one that more than likely they didn't have faith in.
Exactly.
That, made them successful. And that's something crazy. It's like, damn. So like, and it makes you think, like, am I doing something wrong? Or like, do I not see, like, do I not know the recipe of, what makes me successful? And you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like a lot of artists, like the song that they just did, quick or that doesn't really have any meaning to them is the one that normally takes off. And it's something that's crazy to me, man. I don't quite get it, but I guess maybe that's where having another point of view, maybe when you're doing something, helps you.
No, I agree.
Trusting
I agree
people
100%.
Trusting in people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because you never know. Like you said, a lot of artists, the project that they think is gonna flop is the one that makes it big. Now, how does that relate to like trusting the process? As long as you're continuously working, improving yourself, that's gonna help you once you blow up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, a lot of SoundCloud rappers, they have that one hit, that grows, blows up out of nowhere, but they don't have any material to follow it up with. Type of thing.
Facts.
So if you're gonna
not prepared,
you gotta prepare yourself. Like that's what we've been doing. Although, hopefully one of these videos eventually, blows up. But I know we're gonna be prepared for it because we have like a future in mind. Like we know what things we're gonna be focusing on and stuff like that. Where you just like every episode, if you just throwing like a dart blindsided, never knowing where it's gonna land, you're not really preparing for it.
Yeah, and like I like to as an individual, I always tell people like. I always like to carry myself how I want to be, like eventually, or how I want to be perceived to be eventually. Like, I like to feel like not that I like to feel, but I like to carry myself as hard to reach. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't like everyone having access to me, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Because I see myself being bigger than what I am right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like an individual. Like I see myself having more of a purpose in life, you know what I mean? And I just don't, I don't want to waste my energy and time or let people have access to my energy and time when they don't benefit me in any way, you know what I mean? Or they just part-time people.
Right. Now, how's that affected you in any way? Like, let's say with a relationship with a friend someone you possibly were or are talking with?
I'd say it has, but like I feel like some people kind of understand. Like a lot of people, like it's hard to get me to go out. I'd say, you know what I mean, and a lot of people may see it as a bad thing, but then some people understand because then when we do eventually hang out, it's beneficial. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
It's not just something I hate like wasting like time. You know what I mean, or not taking advantage of interaction with someone because you know sometimes if you just go out, you go drink your life away, and then the next day you feel miserable and you don't remember what the hell y'all talked about. You know what I mean?
True facts.
And also like I just like like what's it called? What?
I don't know that one.
I didn't say that. But yeah, I don't know. I just like when I meet with people for it to have a weight behind it. You know what I mean? And be able to take something away from it. And you know, like that's just how I carry myself. I don't know. I may be wrong, or I may be doing something that's not good, but that's just how I that's just how I move. So that way I'm prepared. Say for instance, if something did happen like that, like an instant boom.
Nah,
you don't have so then like if you did have the instant boom, you don't then have to remove certain friends that are not good for you, or remove certain tendencies, or addictions or whatever, or was it not habits, stuff like that, bro. This is how it is.
I can see that. I agree. I mean, me, I used to be, out there a lot more when I was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Now I'm more enclosed. Like I'm about my work. I'm working on my businesses, so I don't go out a lot. And I had to become a person where if I'm doing something, I want it to be an experience. I don't want to do things used to do it.
Yep.
Right? Like I'm not going to the bar or the club every week now. When I go out, people I haven't seen in a while. We just get together, have some fun, cash up and stuff like that. I mean, now what I've been doing the most, actually getting ready to do more often, is play golf. Just pick up something to be active. But I'm like you. I don't give a lot of people access to me. Like I'm more enclosed now. I literally dropped like a lot of people that I used to talk to when I was in college. And now I'm like, I like it like that. It's more quieter. I'm actually enjoying the time when I hang out with people. I'm enjoying it more. And it's not more just like, oh, we're going to go out and get drunk. It's more like, all right, we're going to go out, cash up, have a couple of drinks, and we take it from there.
Right. But the problem with that is, a lot of people may see it as a problem is like when you do take that, like that big time, like that long time not seeing someone, you don't know the next time you will see them, and if it's the last time you will see them. So that's where it can become a problem. I would like to reword it. I would just say that I'd like to see the people that are beneficial to me more often.
Right.
Than spending time with people that I know.
Are you just gonna waste your time?
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree, and like you were saying, I try to stay in contact with people that are good for me to be in my life.
Yeah.
Like I remove some of that bad energy, and that's again, that's part of the process that I'm going through.
Yeah, like there's something also that I did want to mention. Like, there's something I can't stand, and it's when people bring their problems to other people. You know what I'm saying, or present their problems to other people. You know what I'm saying. Then when you try to help them, they don't take the advice or whatever you give them. So like, what's the point of it? You know what I mean? So that's where I want to talk about. Like, I don't like conversations that aren't doing any, that not doing any good.
Meaningless conversations.
That are meaningless, right? And I get irritated quick and annoyed when I'm when it's a conversation and it's like just repetitive, and then problems become a part of the conversation, and it's like, what's the point?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But back to trusting the process. I've seen something that says once you trust the process, your path in life becomes clear.
Right.
And it's because when you trust the process, I feel like a lot of doors begin to open, even though some of it may take longer, or it may be a slower process, but it's probably better to be that way when it's slower, in my opinion.
Right.
And also, when I seen was when we allow life to reveal itself to us, we live in the present moment, knowing that we are exactly where we are supposed to be. Unfortunately, a lot of people jump too far in the future and try to move forward too fast, and like you said, they aren't prepared for it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
people try to jump the line,
right,
but they're not ready for it. You know what I mean? So that's where I think trust in the process. You have to be prepared for anything.
No, you have to. You have to analyze that anything can happen. And learning how to prepare. It's like with one of my businesses. What if I have? We're talking about the clothing brand. What if I have an unsuccessful launch? How can I How can I recover from that? Right. So it's like knowing what can go wrong, but also knowing what can go right. And that will help you kind of like, okay, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Kind of like prepare you for anything that can happen.
I feel like with that, you gotta be able to focus, or you should focus on what you can control.
Exactly. No, 100%.
That's the thing.
100%.
Don't try to do something that you're not capable of doing, or something you're not capable of. Like, don't carry a weight you're not capable of lifting. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that we should present.
I agree with it. I agree with it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think having faith is part of the process as well?
Faith is huge. Faith is huge because that faith is what gives you the desire to continue to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And when you don't have faith, I feel like you feel hopeless sometimes, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because like, you don't feel like there's a purpose behind it when there's no faith.
I agree 100%.
Faith is what drives you. Cause that when you're at your lowest, faith is what makes you keep going. You know what I mean?
It's
or gives you the light, and it shows you that there is a
way.
A way. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. What about you?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like you said, faith is what drives us. If I'm gonna do something and I don't have faith in it, I might as well just quit while I'm at it, because it's not gonna go anywhere. So I put it. Like me, I would say I'm a really somewhat of a suspicious. What do you call it? All right, I'm gonna skip that part. So I have a lot of belief on what. No. Superstitious. There you go.
You're superstitious.
Superstitious guy.
What?
Yeah.
Superstitious.
Yeah. Whatever. It's one of those days, bro. Yeah. But yeah, like I put a lot of belief onto what I do, and I believe like things that I'm not aware of affect it.
You know what makes sense with that is embracing the unknown.
Yeah, 100%. Like I know a lot of moving components that I'm not completely unaware of can affect what I'm doing, can affect what I plan on to do. So that's why, like, I always, faith is a big part of my process, because if I don't have faith in it, it's not, like I said before, it's not going to go anywhere. But having faith in it kind of like drives me more. Okay, I know there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but just because I have faith in that, I know I can overcome those things, type of thing.
So, that's you're right. And I feel like the opposite of that would be fear. And I feel like when fear presents itself and the journey of trusting the process, I feel like that's when it becomes hard, man, and that's where it shows who's meant to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who's meant to be successful and who's not, you know what I mean? Cuz you got to know how to be able to fight through it. But I think a lot of people fear failure, and we talk about that, like
failure. Yeah, we really have talked about it a lot.
I feel like when you embrace failure, that's what makes it easier. Embrace it. Everybody's fail. I mean, you're prone to fail. I mean,
yeah,
it's just how you bounce back is what matters.
Exactly.
The way you bounce back.
Exactly. It's not how you. It's how you take the failure. It's your reaction to the failure.
Right. Right. And I just feel like people with the fear don't get discouraged, you know what I mean? Because it's something that is common. Um Especially it's common when you're not prepared, like we said earlier. I feel like that's what it is. When you're not prepared, I feel like that's when fear presents itself because you're like, damn, what if? You start saying what if a lot.
Yeah.
Or what am I gonna do if it doesn't go my way? You know what I mean? Sometimes when it doesn't go your way, it's meant to be, and you just gotta embrace that.
Yeah.
Embrace that way,
100%.
and that might be your way to success. And most of the time, not what you think is what works. You know what I mean? And this is the truth. Listen to what other people say. Listen to what other people say. Sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes people say things to make you fail.
No, that's 100% true right there.
You just gotta know how to depict that. I feel like you can tell when someone tells you things with malice.
Yeah.
Or you could see it. Like I could catch on to things, bro. Like I could tell when people, like I said, like in a previous episode, like I can tell when people genuinely support you and when people just support to be a part of the group of people, like, and they don't really mean it. You could feel the genuineness within people when they show love. Sometimes people just want to show like want to be seen that they're showing love, so that way they don't look like a bad person or a bad friend.
Right.
But sometimes people don't genuinely mean it. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot.
It really does. Some people are just there just to say that we're part of it and not really like bringing value to the table.
Yeah.
Now, since you mentioned that, will you say the people that you are surrounded by affect your process? Like affect how quick are you prone to have some success?
I think they do, because the people around you are a part of the process. You know what I mean? They're gonna be beside you or next to you during the journey, and I mean, they are the ones that, like I said, when you are down, they pick you up, or at least the right ones should.
The right ones should, yeah.
They are the ones that give you advice or tell you what to do and what not to do, if you should do it or if you shouldn't do it. At least the good friends, are the right friends, the one that actually care about you and don't want to see you down, and bad. But I do think the people around you are beneficial to your process, because most of the time, a lot of them have more experiences in life or may know something you don't know, and that could help you, when the unknown does present itself.
I agree.
What about you?
I feel the same way. I always bring this quote. The people that you're surrounded with are essentially your net worth. If you have people around you that all they bring is negativity, distractions, your process is gonna be delayed. But when you have people that are like-minded, that want to achieve a higher version of themselves, that's when you're gonna see more growth, and more success in your life as well.
Something, I think a lot of people believe that there has to be a group of people for the process to be successful, but you could do it alone.
You could do it alone.
You could 100%. Do it alone. The process could be done alone. Any process, literally.
Yeah.
Starting a business, making music, a lot of things. There's people that do their own, they produce their own things, make their own beats, everything. It could be done alone. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it or it's beneficial, but it's definitely, you could do it. You don't need people around you to be successful.
Exactly. It works.
It's honestly better sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it works differently for different people.
Yeah.
Some people prefer to do things alone.
Yep.
It's like, kind of like with my clothing brand, it's just me. At least for the moment, definitely want to bring more people on board and all that. But yeah, sometimes things work better when you do it alone.
See, my thing is, when will the debate, or when will someone being called selfish not be a bad thing? You know what I mean? because selfish people make it a bad term, but sometimes
It really isn't. Depending on the situation.
I think it
really
depends on the
isn't.
situation.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it by yourself, I mean, it is considered being selfish because you're doing it by yourself and you don't want anyone's help.
Right.
But I just think it's all a matter of what works for you, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trial and error is a part of that, like we mentioned a lot. Just like I said, like don't be afraid to expand your creativity, and run into different situations and challenges that may help you.
Yeah.
And if you one of those people, like I think I like to be alone a lot too, but sometimes it's good when you do have people around. That way you could, like I said, bounce off ideas, challenge your creativity,
Exactly.
and
You know,
your knowledge, man. Like I said, because and I like to, I always like, and I take advantage of being around older people or people older than me, because obviously they have more life. They've lived life longer than me, but they just know more about things. And if I have a question about something, I like to hear their point of view on it. And like I'll just put my own twist to it when the situation arises. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm one of those people. I'm not afraid to ask questions.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, asking questions, I think is good.
Yeah.
Like
Asking questions is a part of the process.
It is part of the process,
Especially if you don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
Or if you're new to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But adding to what you were saying about certain things that you do, or even taking onto something by yourself may seem selfish. Sometimes you do have to be selfish in the process. I mean, sometimes you have to be selfish and make what do you call it? You have to be selfish to put yourself in situations that are going to benefit you, not necessarily people around you.
I feel like that's you're right. And also you have to be selfish when you are doing something and you can't look vulnerable to people.
Exactly.
You got to show strength. And I feel like sometimes I don't know if selfish is the right word, man. I feel like self-motivated.
Self-motivated, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
use that.
Anything I mean, I just think it's the way that you express yourself is what considers you being selfish or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do something and you're humble, I don't think you're selfish. You know what I mean? But if you do something and you're like chest out, like I did this because of me, like then it's gonna be selfish. I feel like everyone, you got to, like, if you have success, you got there with the help of someone, some way,
somewhere or another,
somewhere down the line. If it was in the past, you learned something, you took something away from somebody, but then you did stuff on your own. You still took something away from somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
I feel like, or took some information or knowledge. So I feel like you don't have success on your own. I feel like you always use other, sources to do it on your own. I feel like.
No, I agree with that 100%.
It's like you said, well, building a table, or like building a house or something, like, or fixing something on your car, or in your, you know what I mean? Like you look up on YouTube, something like how to do it, but you do it yourself.
I was going to bring that point too.
But people be like, I did it. Yeah, but you did it with help. But you know what I'm saying? But you put your own twist to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like when you start a business, let's say if you're getting like a product manufacturer and you're looking for a high quality, manufacturer. Yeah. That way you can have high quality products. The fact that you have a high quality product is not just solely based on you, wanting a quality product, but the manufacturer on the other side that made a quality product for you to sell. Yeah. Type of thing. But I like how you position that, because it is true. At the end of the day, although it may seem that we're doing things on our own, there's always on one form or another, there's always influence from somebody else.
Yeah, that's the word, influence.
Or even help in some sort of way that help us, get to where we want to be.
And I feel like, that, and also like you need help from other people when you're trying to maintain. Like, for instance, if it's a business, you started on your own, right? But eventually, you're gonna need a general manager, the whole nine
Exactly.
yards,
Yeah.
employees. You know what I'm saying, to keep it running. So
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
that's something that you could take, like, to to add on to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, another thing that I do want to add it's important to the process is taking risk. You got to be able to take risk and knowing that you may fail or you may succeed. Because taking risk is I would say crucial.
Yeah, I feel like that's what makes your process unique,
Mm-hmm.
and you make it your own. Like I said earlier, embracing it. You know what I mean? When you take risk, it shows you how to like, it just shows you that you tried something, and if it worked, it worked, and if it didn't work, you learn from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna bring a little backstory. I started watching this show. It's about Uber. It's called Super Pump. And watching that, this is the first episode, but just watching it, it's like, damn, like I didn't know that's what's going on. But one risk that I saw, I forgot his name. I know his first name is Travis, CEO of, owner or whatever he is now. At the beginning, Silicon Valley, the government there, San Diego, they wanted to shut him down because it was taking money away from what do they call it, from taxi and livery department, from like essentially the transportation department. So he took the risk. He said, well, how can I make this, that way they just let me be. So he started, with the small amount of it wasn't a small amount, it was like thousands of riders. He used to come up to them, hey, can you sign this petition? And kind of, that's how he got to the position that he is. He got the company to the position where they are right now. And another fun fact, it used to be called Uber Cab. The reason why they switched to Uber was because by having Uber Cab on the name, now they were seen as a taxi company.
Oh, Uber Cab.
Okay. Uber Cab. Now, drop the cab part of the name, Uber. Now it's just what it is, a ride sharing system.
Right. No, he's grown from it. He's made different things, the Uber Eats and
Uber
the whole 9
Eats.
yards.
Yeah. Now they have the scooters that you see, around the cities. Yeah, you gotta be able to take risks like that. It's something. Let's say if you're facing a situation, there are gonna be risks that you can take to, what do you call it? Embrace that situation or get past that situation. So you got to be able to take those risks. If you're starting your business, you got to be able to take risks. Because I get it. Starting a business is scary. What if I don't sell? What if I don't get any clients? You will never know until you take that risk.
The thing with that is that I feel like with the risk, I want to say that there are no guarantees in life.
There are no guarantees in life, 100%.
So
100%.
That's the thing. And I feel like people believe that there are guarantees, and that's where it becomes a problem. And they try to predict the future, and that's where it becomes a problem.
I feel that's how a lot of people get stuck.
You just gotta live your life. You just gotta live your life literally day by day, and make it your day the way you want to make it. But
exactly,
don't try to play with the future, predict the future. 'Cause that's when you gonna fall hard. Honestly,
100%.
That's my point.
100%. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So process.
Honestly, I just want you guys to take away from what I want you to take away from this is just know that your process is going to be different from someone else's.
Everybody else, yes.
But just embrace it and have faith in it, and just know that good things in life take time, like I said in the quote. And don't get discouraged if someone you know or someone you follow, is having more success than you. Just know that when it's your time,
It's your time.
it's your time, and the time will be right, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. And then before we leave it, talk about your process. Let us know what obstacles have you encountered, and what part of your process are you in.
Obstacles I have encountered. I'd say when I was a freshman in high school, I mentioned this in the first episode of the podcast in season 1 when we first started. It was I always thought that I was gonna be a baseball player, like a major league baseball player. And then reality hit me when I got to play high school ball. Not that I didn't have the talent, it's just that it's more expensive than you think it is, and if you don't have the funds, it's hard for you to make it. And luckily, football presented itself, and I was a natural at it, and the transition was easy, and the way to get exposure is way easier on football.
Right.
With Huddle, there's a platform that you could share, or every game is recorded, right? And
right.
clip by clip, play by play, and you just highlight, like star the plays that you stood out in, and at the end of the year you make a highlight clip and send it out to colleges, and then they invite you and they potentially offer you. And so one thing about trusting the process with that is it presented me a lot of college opportunities. But something I want to say, there was some obstacles during that process, and it's simply I was probably, I'd say, the most arrogant, and this is where being selfish is going to present itself. I was probably the most arrogant player I'd say there was, and I was super cocky. I talked a lot of trash. I just bet on myself. I thought I was the best player. Well, I believed I was the best player, and I knew I was the best player in my opinion. You know what I mean? Compared to the other guys, and I just thought I was the best, honestly. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you 100%. When you believe you're the best, you that's when you perform like the best. I think
you push yourself harder.
You push yourself harder. So with that, the obstacles that presented itself, and me thinking or believing or thinking that I was the best, when colleges would talk to me, like for instance, they would talk to me about potential position changes. And that way they would offer me, like for instance, some coaches would say, "Oh, we don't have any more tight end scholarships," because I play tight end. They say, "We don't have any more tight end scholarships, but would you like to play offensive line, or would you like to play defensive end?" And me being selfish, I would be like, no, I'm a tight end. I'm the best tight end there is. If you're not gonna offer me a tight end, I'm not going to your school. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I would like a lot of kids now to take away from. If a school is offering you a scholarship, don't be dumb and say no. Just be, if you really love football, say you would play anywhere they would put you and go on from that. You know what I mean? Because a scholarship is a scholarship, and it's not easy to come by. And if a school sees a vision, you know what I mean? If that's the only scholarship you have, take it. Don't be selfish. And that was my problem. So I would say no to a lot of schools when they would ask me to switch positions, and eventually, and also I didn't take visits. That's another thing. I was that selfish. I'm not taking a visit to your school. You're gonna have to offer me without me going there. You know what I mean? Stupid stuff, bro. And which I don't. I mean, I wish I could change it, because I probably would be somewhere else, maybe in the NFL or something, if I changed positions, because maybe someone's seen the vision or seen me doing something better than what I did. But long story short, I was negating myself to a lot of schools, and I didn't take no visits. But thankfully, Fairmont had offered me, and I went there. I met a lot of great people, and the rest is history, man. But I just want to say, like, sometimes when you bet on yourself, it could be bad when you don't take outside criticism, I'd say.
Right.
So that was my life experience with that, and I just want, if any student athletes are watching this, man, just listen to the coaches, man, because whatever they're saying may be true. But also, see, that's where it could be contradicting, because sometimes it works for people, like when they believe in themselves and they stick to that and they make it. But sometimes reality is reality. You know what I mean?
I agree. 100%.
But yeah, that's me. What about you, man?
I mean, I would say, I have hit like a rough patch for a couple of years, after I stopped playing baseball, because I played baseball since age of 4. Essentially, that was like my passion. All I wanted to do was, go to the MLB, represent the American Republic and all that. That didn't happen. Got hurt my senior year. I talked about the injury before, tore some ligaments. But after that, I was also in a not so good relationship either. That kind of like messed me up a little bit, distracted me from the things that I wanted to accomplish. For those who don't know, I used to produce music a little bit. Was going well. Actually, I was starting to, actually have people buying my beats and stuff like that. Actually thinking about some possible projects, but just going through that patch, I kind of like stopped it. But apart from that, a lot of good things flourished from there. I learned a lot about myself. I learned how I can push myself to the limits. I'm more open to change now, type of thing. I feel like if I didn't go through those little rough patches in my life, the last, I would say, like 3-4 years, I would not be the person that I am today. Now I got, somewhat running 2 businesses, got a good paying job, which, essentially I want the businesses to overtake that. Got the podcast, thinking about possibly starting a family in the next 2-3 years. Who knows that going? But I feel like, that rough patch was like the biggest like wake up call. It's like, all right, you gotta do things differently. You gotta learn how to adapt. And I was also, I don't know if you remember how it was like in high school. I was so enclosed. Like I would talk to people, but I only talk to people that I knew.
It's crazy. I feel like life hit a 360, and it's like the complete opposite, because I was super outgoing and talkative, and
right.
I mean I'm talkative. I'm social. I'm very social.
Yeah,
I'd say I'm very social, but I was more like
you were more out there.
Yeah, in high school, and then when I became an adult, like that's when I enclosed myself. But I'd say you were enclosed, but now you go out because you go to the bars and stuff a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, like
and in college you had
in
fun.
college, yeah. So I feel like college was a good experience for me, just because I was able to learn a lot more about myself. I was able to, stop being shy like how I used to. Just learning how to put myself in good positions, like positions that would benefit me, type of thing. Like, first 2 years of college, I would sit back of the class, just be on my own thing, get my work done, push it, and go home. That's it. Now, second year, that's kind of like when I got out of my last relationship. Started, being more social. I learned a lot of things about myself, like I said before. I also met a lot of quality people that are still around to this day. And that's why I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So the rough patches that I've gone through in my life, I don't regret them.
I feel like something you could say is that, and something you guys could take away from that is that, just know that the tough times or the rough patches or whatever don't last.
They don't last forever.
They don't last forever. So just know that it's gonna suck, going through it. But just know,
yeah. 100%.
And if you're going through it now, just know that there is a light, and that you stay strong and resilient.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna make
100%.
you way stronger. When you do get across it.
Yeah, like I would say after going through that, I would say my life is. I mean, it's not great, but it's good, Have, a beautiful girlfriend, she supports everything that I do, and it's, both way. Got the podcast. I feel once we grew up a little older, because I feel me and you kind of like went our separate ways for a little bit, but then we kind of like reached back out and like we closer. How we used to be as kids.
Bro, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If I would have stayed in West Virginia the 4 years, the podcast would not be a thing.
I feel that, yeah.
Because I would have went on and continued. But when I came after the 2 years, then I transferred back home to Salisbury. That's when we reconnected. But
yeah,
I genuinely think if I would have stayed up there the 4 years, it would not. I would. No, yeah. I don't even think I would have came back. Honestly,
right? Yeah.
But like I said, you just gotta embrace the journey.
That's how it is.
And good things are gonna come out of it. It's the only thing I could say.
Yeah, and don't focus so much on the things that you can't control.
Focus on your purpose. That's what it is. Focus on your purpose. Don't focus on the thing you can't control, bro.
Yeah, focus on the things that you want to do, the things that you can do to, have some success or, even better yourself.
Yeah. Facts. 100%.
Leave it as that. Yeah, just trust the process. I hope you guys got a lot of, good ways to, embrace the process. You guys got to learn a little more about us more on the deeper end. And, we're looking forward to make more episodes like this. Any other last words before we end?
No, I'm just saying, just know that, like I said earlier, being different is not bad. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Just embrace it. That's the word I want you guys to take away from this. Embrace your life. Embrace yourself. Embrace the journey. Embrace everything. When you embrace it, life becomes easier.
Amen.
Because words don't affect you. What people think about you don't affect you. It just makes you a strong-minded individual. So I feel like when you embrace things, that's the key to having a strong mind and being a strong-minded person.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah, that's the end, man. Or at least for me. I don't know if you have anything else.
We're good, man.
All right.
We're good, stay motivated, keep pushing hard. Enjoy your journey in life. Don't let anything or anyone stop you from achieving the things that you want to achieve. Just go out there, find a way to do it, and make sure it's the right way.
For sure. Amen. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 18. This was a very, like you said, personal episode, but also a moving episode that, can somewhat motivate and inspire you guys to trust the process if you're going through anything in life, or create the process if you need that outlet in life.
Yeah.
If you're not too sure what you want to do in life, motivate you to go and try and get out the house and find new things that may be able to push you to find a purpose. So
amen to that.
Thank you guys. Remember to like and comment, review, and rate the today's episode.
Yes, sir.
Share the content, guys.
Share with a friend. Tell a friend to share with another friend.
Facts. I think it's 12 episodes left until the end of season 2. So make sure you guys, like I said, click on those playlists. Watch other episodes, from season 1 or season 2.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, any places you want us to visit, any other podcasts that you enjoy listening to that you want to see us collab with, let us know in the DMs or email us down there in the description. But yeah, most importantly, hit that turn on the ring notification bell. I said, it's getting warmer.
We might shock you here and there.
We might do something different here. Something similar that we did with the other content that we had. We might bring it back for you guys here shortly with the weather changing. But other than that,
new segment coming out soon.
What is it?
New segment coming out soon
as
well.
Yeah. Facts,
stay tuned for that. We probably won't even tell when it's coming out.
Right, that's why it's good to. That's why, and a lot of you, I know because if you're watching on YouTube, but I don't know listening, but if you're watching on YouTube, you hear a lot of people say the like and the comment and the ring, the bell, whatever. But it actually does help. The like helps with the algorithm. Commenting helps with the engagement. And when you turn the bell on, it helps you be notified if anything happens, any new potential segments, or if an episode just slips, some random day of the week.
Right.
So that's why it's good. And I know you probably just hear it and it goes in one ear and out the other. But when we tell you these things, they actually are for a purpose, like we mentioned in the episode.
Amen to that.
But as always, guys, remember to subscribe
And let's vibe.
Peace. See you guys. Blessings. Stay safe out there.
Trust the process.